Hari. Hello, hello, hello. Do we have background music? We do, right? Let me turn that up a little bit. There we go. Hopefully that sounds alright. Hari. Although this is my second Hari of the day, but nonetheless, Hari. I'm here with another Tem's Anime Club episode, I guess you could call it. I don't know. I just want to talk about anime with you guys. And I have a friend here today, Kumado. He woke up from his hibernation just to come hang out. Yeah. So, as some of you might have known from the last time, I'm currently watching quite a few seasonal anime. I opened this club in hopes that it'll motivate me to keep up with the anime and actually watch them all the way through to the end. That's honestly the main purpose of this. But of course we don't have to talk about the latest anime, you know, I don't want to give too many people spoilers for stuff that they might want to watch. So if anybody else has any other suggestions or topics that they want to talk about, I am all ears as usual. But yeah, I think we'll start off with, I don't know, what did I watch most recently? So I've been catching up on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I've been watching that with my roommates, and that's, it's quite an experience. I don't ever know how to feel about JoJo's, but it's something. Hello, hi, welcome to the stream. Hold up, I'm covering you with my wing a little bit. There you are, hello. Give you a little brush with my wing. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Yeah, I'm not quite done with the newest season of JoJo because Netflix, you know, decides to drop it all at once. But we've been slowly making our way through it. It's not an easy feat considering that me and my roommates have vastly, wildly different schedules at the moment. Which JoJo am I caught up to? The most current season of Stone Ocean. We're like over halfway through the newest season that dropped, I think. Like getting close to the end game stuff, I think. I don't even know. I can never predict where JoJo is gonna go. Has the new JoJo been good? I think so. I wouldn't consider myself a JoJo fan by normal standards. I enjoy it mostly for the memes, and I think if I wasn't watching it with friends, then I wouldn't watch it at all. But it's very funny to watch with friends. Because it's just like anytime literally anything weird happens in the episode, I can just be like, what's happening? My roommate who has read the manga is like, just don't worry, don't question it. There's a baby and it's gonna explode, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, sure, yeah, whatever. I mean, JoJo has this thing where like, okay, so like I prefer more like character arc centric stories over these like long battle epics. You're hoping you're not shadow banned? I don't think you're shadow banned. I don't actually know how one becomes shadow bammed. It's as it's spelled right here, shadow bammed. But you're showing up in my chat and you're showing up on the screen, so I think you're good. But yeah, so the thing is with JoJo, right, is that a lot of their characters don't get very good development, and the characters that do get development will immediately die after their development arc. So it's hard for me to get attached to any particular characters in JoJo, honestly. YouTube has a problem. Your alternate can't send a chat to it. Is that like a recent thing? Because I heard that Haru-kun, who had his debut earlier, was talking about somebody got shadow banned, which might have been the same person. I don't know. You stopped being able to talk at memes. Oh dear. Well, I mean, unless you've done something worthy of an actual ban, I don't know why YouTube is nerfing you. And I am not. I'm not particularly tech savvy to be able to troubleshoot that kind of thing. Yeah, that's JoJo. You might like part 4. Part 4 was okay. Like, I think part 4 is one of my favorite parts. I just think that the villain of part 4, I mean, that's what everybody says, right? You know, the villain of part 4 is the best, but it's true. Although I gotta say though, I'm really digging the villain of what part is this? 6, Stone Ocean. YouTube's being wacky today? Huh. That's weird. I hope that gets fixed soon. Yeah, I'm really liking Pucci. He's a pretty interesting character, honestly. Like I like him. I think he's a neat dude. I mean, he's still pretty evil, but like he's the kind of like evil that thinks that he's doing it all for the right reasons. Whereas like, I don't know, Dio is just kind of Dio. He just exists to be an asshole, and that's his whole purpose in life. Until apparently he like becomes the leader of a religion, or I don't fucking know. But like he's a dick, and he knows he's a dick, and he exists to be a dick, right? And then there's like Yoshikage Kira, who's just a murderer. He's just a psychopath. He's just a serial killer, and he knows that, and he's got some, you know, not justifications, but he's got his own personal benefits that he gains from the things that he does. He's not under any like grand delusions that he's like saving people, though. Not really, I don't think. And as far as part 5, I actually never finished part 5. I watched like the first half of it, and like at first I was like, okay, like see, this is how JoJo goes for me, right? Like I'll meet some characters, and especially I think in part 5 a lot of the characters had really good intros. Like they had a really good backstory and like character setup, you know? And then it just goes nowhere. And it'll go nowhere for like, so it's like, okay, so JoJo, how character development goes, right? So the first 5% of the season for that character is going to be character development, introducing the character, and then 90% is going to be who was this character again? What's their personality like? It keeps changing, and then the last 5% of the season is, oh boom, they actually had a character arc and now they're dead. And that's how JoJo goes. Part 2 is the best. Agreed. It actually had good characters who were consistent and had like fluid character arcs throughout the entire thing, instead of just cramming their entire development into the last 5 seconds of their life. I enjoyed that very much. Also, I just really love Joseph. I just really love Joseph Joestar. He's just such a funky dude. Let's go, exactly. Sorry, I know I might offend people with my JoJo takes, but that's just how I be. It's just not my thing. But it's fun. It's a fun watch. Although, not gonna lie, part 3 was a chore to get through for me. Because it's just, who are even the characters in part 3? It's like, Jotaro, okay, he's got a pretty fleshed out character in the fact that he is just stoic and a bit awkward and solves all his problems with punching. Like, okay, we know who Jotaro is. And then there's Kakyoin, who is he's there, and sometimes he's a little silly, and then he's, spoiler alert, and then he's dead. And then there's Polnareff, Best Boy, who is the classic comic relief, and I love him and he's great. And then there's Avdol, and he is like the straight-laced character, right? Until he's not. Until he like dies and is reborn and then has a different personality, I guess, where he just becomes a silly boy and becomes part of the comic relief squad. And then there's a dog, and the dog's an asshole, and then it kind of does something nice towards the end, I guess, maybe. And those are the protagonists of Stardust Crusaders. It's just just a punchy boy and some cardboard cutouts. And I know I'm not original in saying the cardboard cutout thing. Like, I stole that from like a dozen other people, but it's true. That's how I feel. And then there's Polnareff. Yeah. Part 3 is just an action shonen. Yeah, it's just sort of your typical monster of the week. Although I will say that all of the stands in JoJo are very creative. And even though I don't personally care for some of the aesthetic tastes of some of them, they're always interesting. They're always fun to unravel, you know? It's like the way that the JoJo formula, right, is that the characters will encounter some new threat in by way of some really bizarre encounter where it's like they're just walking down the street and then oops, suddenly the sun is under their feet and their heads have chickens on them or something like that, and then you're like, what the heck is going on here? And then you take the rest of the episode for them to like anime explain to you the laws of physics, and then like half of it turns out to not even be true if you actually like go and fact check it. Polnareff gave up a love interest for the boys. Did he do that? I have no memory of this. I just remember Polnareff as the funny hee hee ha ha boy. Funny hee hee ha ha French man. He have funny hair. Part 2 has the best OP. Yeah. I do really love, what's it called? Bloody Stream? Pretty, pretty. Yeah, that's a good one. I like a lot of the JoJo soundtrack, or the JoJo openings and endings, to be fair. Well, especially the openings, because most of the endings are just like pre-existing songs. But like, honestly, I'd say like 95% of the OPs are songs that I could probably sing. Like I don't know. I mean, I not perms wise. I don't know if I can sing any of them perms wise, but like I know them. Like I've listened to them enough that I could sing them. I do really like the openings in Stardust Crusaders though. Na na da 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 na suto peiji ni sono kobushi wo tataki kome da da wa bam 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 sanchi no kyoku ora 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 ora. It's, if nothing else, JoJo is just fun. And yeah, I mean, part 4 it's fun, and the characters actually do have a lot of interesting traits and consistent development. Although I don't know, I never got that attached to Josuke as a protagonist. I mean, Okuyasu's fine, but he kind of got old to me. I was more interested in whatever the heck was going on with Koichi and what's her name? The girl, was it like Yuko or something like that? I was definitely more interested in that plot. And also, whatever the fuck Rohan's got going on. What's his deal? What's his deal? What does he want? Why is he... What? He just sometimes shows up and you're like, oh no, not this bitch. Not this bitch again. He was turned into a kid and saves a woman that took him in. What? Yukako. That's it. Yukako. Listen, okay, so this is sort of my guilty pleasure of anime characters. I really like stalker tropes. I really like stalker characters. This is my fatal flaw. Like, obviously, okay, it's only in fiction, right? It's only acceptable within the realm of fiction, right? But I just, for some reason, have always loved stalker characters. For example, one of my first, like, anime that I got super into was Fairy Tail, right? And I love Juvia. I love her so much. She's just such a dingus, and she's crazy, but cute. She's crazy in a cute way. Like Kira, like Yoshikage Kira? I mean, Kira, I wouldn't say that he's a stalker so much as he's just a serial killer. I'm more referring to Yukako. And, you know, she's got a little bit of that yandere as well, right? For me, it's like, it's not enough to just be yandere. It has to be a specific flavor of yandere to really pull me in. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Something about those kind of characters. That's the good stuff. Oh, what were we talking about? Oh, Kira from Death Note. Kira from Death Note, huh? Kira's not really a stalker. He's not. I mean, Kira from Death Note is, he's just an interesting character, honestly. He's just a kid with a superiority complex who lets it get to his head and goes like full corruption arc, right? And he's also just happens to be like a super genius. Although he does some really dumb shit, of course. But I don't know if he's a stalker. If anything, the girl, what was her name? Misa? Amane? Misa. If anything, she's more of a stalker, isn't she? I might be into that. I might be into that, not gonna lie. She is cute, though. She is cute. What were we talking about with JoJo? Yeah, I think that part four, right? Yeah, I think part 4 is probably the most coherent story. Well, that's not true. Part 2 was also a very coherent story, and I think part 4 is about the same. So I did like it. I just didn't get as attached to Josuke as I am with like Joseph, for example. It definitely makes a big difference for me in terms of like what anime I like, if I can get attached to the protagonist or not. What is my favorite anime? Okay, so the big question. When asked what my favorite anime is, the answer that I will usually give people is Hunter x Hunter, because that's, I think, probably the I'm not gonna say easiest anime to get into, because it's like 150 episodes and permanently on hiatus. But oh damn, Acer, they got you as well. YouTube is being a sussy baka and shadow banned you. Damn, that's rough, buddy. Tem time it is, indeed. So Hunter x Hunter, I think, it has the most appeal to a large audience, so that's why I always say Hunter x Hunter. And it is just one of the anime that I think has the like one of the most well-rounded anime for me. Like, I don't know, like, it's a shonen, but it's got like a lot of facets to it. I just think it's the kind of anime that anyone can enjoy. However, the true answer is Utano Prince Sama, because it's my like guilty pleasure anime about dumb singing voice, and I'm very weak for that kind of thing. And then my second real answer is Okiku Furikabute, or Big Wind Up in English. It's an anime about some kids that play baseball. And it's good. You should all watch it. Hello, Kumawo. Kumawo, hi. Kumawo says hi. What kind of voice does Kumaro get? Yeah, hi. La 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 la. Your favorite anime is Kill la Kill. I love Kill la Kill. I absolutely adore Kill la Kill. That's a really good one. It's the kind of anime that, like, it's very much don't judge a book by its cover, right? Like, that's like the whole point of the anime. Because it's like, in the beginning, it's like, okay, this is just really raunchy for no good reason, and like really chaotic, and things are happening way too fast. But then, like, by like halfway through it, like, by the time you know it, you're like, actually, this slaps. Actually, this is the best. lose your way in the yeah. Didn't Hunter x Hunter manga have a new chapter recently? Maybe. I don't know. I've been hearing a lot of news about Hunter x Hunter. Yeah. Listen, okay, so I tried to catch up to the manga after finishing the anime of Hunter x Hunter, right? But the thing is that the Hunter x Hunter manga is so wordy. There's so many words in there. It's like, it's okay when it's in anime form, right? Because whenever they do the exposition dump, like, they kind of pace it out so that you know which phrases to zone in on, you know, because it's like, you've got, like, in the Tower arc, right? You've got Wing explaining how Nen works, and like he's just going on and on, and he's like, Nen is the thing that covers the aura of your body, and then you have to reach deep inside your soul, and blah 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 blah, and you've got blah blah and this kind of training, and that, and the Ten and the Ren and the Hatsu and blah 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 blah, right? But it's presented in a way that there's, you know, like music in the background that like swells with the pacing of what he's saying. You know, there are characters' reactions and like the framing of the camera work and everything that makes it a lot more palatable than just a straight up like text dump. Whereas in the manga, and part of this I think is also just because, you know, because of Togashi's back problems, that he might not do as detailed, he might not be doing as much detailed, like, line work, or, like, what would you call it? Like, the layout of the pages, I think might be losing a bit of its, like, pacing. It's weird to talk about pacing of pages, but you know what I mean? It's like the layout of how the word bubbles and the panels within the page are laid out, like, can break up the text into smaller chunks that are more digestible. But it just it gets way out of hand. I'm like, I gave up. I'm like, I'm just gonna wait until maybe one day that there's enough in the manga for them to start making the anime again. Otherwise, I quit. I quit. Your voice is amazing. Thank you. I do like to sing. I also like to talk, and I hope that my voice is not particularly grating to the ears. Is it like Berserk? I have actually never read or watched Berserk. I've heard of it. I'm not entirely sure what it's about. Does it also have the big exposition problem? But yeah, so Hunter x Hunter is my go-to recommendation for people, especially I think it has the best effect if you're already a fan of some anime, like if you're a fan of some of the major shonens or something like that, because it likes to play off of a lot of tropes, so it helps if you actually are familiar with like anime tropes, you know, ahead of time. I think Hunter x Hunter is a good watch for anybody. What else were we talking about? It's extremely gory and violent, so unless you're into that kind of thing, I don't recommend it. The thing, I'm not a big fan of gore. If it's done tastefully, I don't know if there's such a thing as tasteful gore, but like, I don't know, if it's done in a particular style, or like, I just don't like to see people's insides. I don't want to see it. I think that guts should stay where they are, and I shouldn't have to see them. But like, a little bit of body horror is okay once in a while, right? In fiction, not in real life, haha. Yeah, that's good, Tim. Just make yourself sound like a psychopath. That'll do well on the internet. So let's see. As far as current anime, the only other ones that I'm watching are Bocchi Zarok and Kodojidanshi and Chainsaw Man, but I am way behind on Chainsaw Man. I meant to catch up, but it's just like, it's such a chore. Look at Tem being all like, oh man, watching anime is a chore. Oh god. Just a little peek on the insides? Yeah, a little peek is fine. I just don't, I don't know. I don't like a lot of gore. But, I don't know. Chainsaw Man doesn't really do it for me. It just kind of feels like Jujutsu Kaisen Part 2. And I didn't like Jujutsu Kaisen that much anyways. You're watching like 6 animes right now. Nice. Are all of them from the current season? That's pretty impressive. I don't even know if I can name 6 anime from the current season. I know there's like one of the Gundam series that's popular right now. There's like a new Gundam series going on right now in this current season. But honestly, like bondEN is one of my favorites for this season, for sure. I mean, I think a lot of people are saying the same thing. You need to get back to watching anime, watching mostly One Piece. I mean, there's nothing wrong with just watching an older show. I mean, there's a lot of One Piece to get through, to be fair. Not that I've watched it, but I've watched like a tiny bit. I watched like the first 15 episodes and then I got bored. You read manga more than anime? Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to find manga that I'm into. Like, I don't know. It's like, I prefer to have, like, I'm very like audio oriented, you know. I really like music. I really like voice acting. So it just completes the experience for me when I watch the anime as opposed to just reading the manga. But I will read manga sometimes. Watching Mob Psycho. Oh right, Mob Psycho. I forgot about Mob Psycho. I have not been catching up on Mob Psycho. Spy Family. Yeah. Oh right, I am also watching Spy Family. That's right. I don't think I watched the most recent episode though. Naruto Gurren Lagann. Oh, that's a good one. One Piece and Jujutsu Kaisen. Okay. So bondEN. What even is bondEN? I'm glad you asked. bondEN is it's like a so it's like a cute girls do cute things kind of show, except the main character has like extreme anxiety, which is like mood, but it's the kind of show where she's so relatable, you know, if you're that particular kind of person, just really introverted, and she has like dreams of becoming a rock star. And she wants to like form a band and start performing, but she like just ends up practicing her guitar alone for years and years, and then she gets into high school and just like sort of falls ass backwards into becoming a member of a band. But the lengths that she will go to avoid social interaction are really it's just relatable. What can I say? And it's the kind of thing that, like, you know, she has a lot of anxiety, but it's presented in a really funny way that keeps sort of this light tone of the show. And I think that honestly, even the other characters, the side characters aside from bondEN, are all really interesting. I want to know more about them. And it really takes me a lot to, it takes a lot for me to want to watch like a moe girl anime. Konhari shoken desu, irashai. Yukkuri shitete ne. Manga readers were complaining that they've nurtured bondEN in those aspects. What aspects? Oh no. Do I want to know? I don't think I want to know. I've never read the manga, so I don't even know. But last time I remember I was complaining about how Kita-chan has she's like too perfect, right? And I think that they're starting to delve more into that. I speak Japanese, yes I do. Well, quite a bit. Not natively, but pretty fluently. I've still got a lot to learn though. I'm still learning, especially kanji. What was I saying? But yeah, Kita-chan. I think that she keeps alluding to having this like obsession with like Bocchi getting the spotlight. She's plot heavy in the manga. Ooh, juicy. I'm so excited because like it's the kind of show that if she never got developed, I would just be kind of meh on the show. But hearing that she's gonna get more developed, I'm really excited. Yeah, because she's a little bit more cunning than she lets on, right? She's a little bit more sly. That she just comes across as this very like picture perfect. She can do everything. She can sing, she can play the guitar, she can she can socialize, she can do sports or whatever. But she keeps talking about like she's like her motivation for being in the band is to help Bocchi reach her dream or something like that. I think she said something like that. And then in the recent episode with she turned in the school the school festival application like against Bocchi's will knowingly, and like she felt bad about it, but it's like the question is like, would I have done the same thing? I probably would have still like I would have brought it up, you know. I would have been like, hey Bocchi, were you planning to turn in this application? Like, do you want me to do it? Like, I would have still asked before just, like, picking it up out of the trash and turning it in, while, like, making the executive decision there. But it's a tough call because Bocchi being the way that she is, she's very prone to like, pull back from stuff, even if it is something that she really wants to do. すごい今日 I read that as 今日。今、日本語を勉強している。ナイス頑張ってね。よかったらいつでもうちの配信に来て一緒に勉強しましょうね。But yeah, it's like Bocchi. See, this is a dilemma that I get into with like some character dynamics sometimes, where it's like, how far should you push a friend to go out of their comfort zone before it's just mean, you know? Like taking things into your own hands and forcing your friend into an uncomfortable situation that has a chance of helping them, but also has a chance of hurting them, you know? And this is actually something that was brought up in a very different anime, although it's maybe not as different as it might seem. It's called Agretsuko. Aggressive Retsuko. It's a show. It's an anime on Netflix, I believe, and it's deceptively cute. Like it's I think it's Sanrio, like the mascot company. I think I might be wrong on that, but it's like a mascot kind of dealio, right? Because like Agretsuko is like a mascot character essentially, and they're all just like cute little animal people going around doing their things, right? But it's about like an office worker and the like trials and tribulations of everyday office life, and the various things that she goes through with relationships and with co-workers and bosses, and her mother constantly wanting her to get married, and dealing with just like a lot of really complicated scenarios. And there's this one episode, I think it was at the end of like season 2 or 3, where Retsuko gets really depressed. I can't remember why she was depressed, but she gets really depressed and she leaves and goes back to her hometown. Like she goes back to her parents' house, and she basically like ghosts everybody and like shuts herself off from everybody outside of her own little bubble. And then her friends come in, basically like forcibly pull her out. And it's like, on the one hand, it's like, and they like force her to open up about her feelings, and it's like, on the one hand, maybe that is necessary sometimes, but on the other hand, I just feel kind of bad about that, with like just forcing somebody to move on when they're not ready to move on yet, you know? Like, I don't know, it's this really weird like in between that I don't really have an answer for. But I love that anime and the fact that it makes me think so hard about things. Yeah. Deceptively cute stuff is one of my favorite tropes, honestly. Something that seems more heavier than it presents itself. Yes. I love that kind of thing. What's your favorite anime opening? Oh my god. I don't think that's a question that I could even answer. Because like, that's harder than what's your favorite anime. Because within each anime, there are like at least anywhere between 1 to like 200 openings, right? Depending on the anime. Favorite anime. Oh god, let me run through my head real quick. I'm trying to think, what are some of the ones that I've listened to the most, at least? Honestly, though, I listen to the openings from Fairy Tail very often. I like a lot of the openings from Fairy Tail. I want to sing all of them. It's rough to find that boundary, indeed, yeah. Something that you may need to be pushed on certain situations, and others where you just want to bail. Yeah, it's so, life is hard. Life is hard, guys. Thank God I have anime to teach me how to live my life. It's very sad. It's very sad putting it that way. Your favorite openings are Gurenge from Demon Slayer. That's a good choice. The second Kill la Kill opening. And Kickback from Chainsaw Man. Okay. Those are all some pretty solid choices. What's the second Kill la Kill opening? I can't remember. It's not is that it? I think that might be it. Escapism, whoa, yeah. But like for real, I like that some anime are tackling the harder questions. You know, it really provides some food for thought. Even as much as I would like to escape from the real world as much as possible. Look at me, I'm an anime character, right? But like, But it do make you think. And it's in a less jarring way than having it slapped right in your face by reality. Yeah, it's a good opening. I'd say from Fairy Tail, my favorite openings are the third opening. It's just called like FT or something like that. It's like, Daijoubu, 俺が何回も叫んでおる君の明日が全て輝いてるって信じてる。I love that one. Evangelion. I still haven't gotten around to watching it. I only know the memes, and I know the opening song. And yeah, I know that it's very, like, mindfucky. That's all I know. It answers all the hard questions and somehow leaves you even more confused than before. Maybe I should get around to watching that sometime soon. I feel like being a member of the anime community and not having watched Evangelion is like an actual crime. I'll get arrested by the anime police. Bocchi solos are my zen right now. I don't honestly know. I don't know that much about guitar because the only musical experience I have is singing and playing the flute. So my knowledge of string instruments and my knowledge of like chord-based instruments is just incredibly limited. So like sometimes I like you know there's that moment in the anime like trope where someone does something amazing and all of the other characters, like it goes into their thoughts to like narrate, like, wow, that's amazing, she's doing the thing, like, whoa. Like I can't honestly hear the difference between when they're being like, when they're like, oh, Bocchi's not playing very well right now because she's nervous, and versus the moments where she like steps up and becomes the guitar hero, you know, like I can't hear the difference. I can't hear it. I might just have to go back and give it a re-listen, but it's just like, I'm just like, oh, cool guitar. Oh, cool guitar. Nice. You want to hear me sing the fairy tale songs? What else is there? Hi, Tem. Hi. Welcome to the stream. My avatar looks like Rei Ayanami from Evangelion. I kind of get where you're coming from. Yeah, I can see that. Just sort of the blue short hair vibes. What are some other fairy tale openings? I mean, obviously the undisputed king. Undisputed? King of fairy tale openings, Rock City Boy. Yeah, the Rock City Boy. Just coming out of go yeah with my guitar. Oh yeah, just that I can dance. It means I can do you. Oh yeah. I'm purposefully singing them as muddled as I can so I don't get like content ID'd. She plays the same but is slightly offbeat from everyone else when she's bad. I suppose. But yeah, I like a good like music-oriented anime, being a musician myself. And I like when anime delve into some of the like the darker sides of the music industry and like the mental strain of it and stuff like that. Like you know. How old am I? I have lost count because I am an angel who has made many time traveling angel who has made many time leaps, and I just stopped keeping count. I'm over 21 because I remember having a 21st birthday, and that's all I know. Hi, welcome to the stream. We're currently talking about Bocchi the Rock, I guess, but also fairy tale. It's kind of a mess, but you're 13? Okay. I'm allowed to say one fuck then, right? I'm sorry, I'm a bad influence. It's like the thing with like PG-13. You're allowed to say one F-bomb, right? We got some teens, some youngsters. What are the kids into these days? Chainsaw Man? God, I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop being cringe. But yeah, what are my other favorite fairy tale openings? Toa no Kizuna, of course. Kimi ga kureta Toa no Kizuna o omoide ni nante dekiru wake nai. You know, a lot of vulgars. Alright. That's fair. What else? We're talking about current anime, and I am not caught up on things like... I'm not caught up on Chainsaw Man. I think that's the big one. I'm only one episode behind on Spy Family. But I enjoyed the last few episodes of Spy Family more than I thought I would, because I've read ahead in the manga a bit, and I don't remember liking this arc with the underground tennis tournament quite as much when I was reading it, but when I was watching it in the anime, it was pretty funny. And what's her name? Nightfall, something like that. She's like surprisingly funny to me. She's a surprisingly endearing character, and once again, I think that's just my weakness for like stalkery characters. Like really obsessive characters. I'm just just gonna ignore it and move on. So yeah, I really like her character. She's like surprisingly endearing. And sorry, there's a lot going on in chat right now. Oof. I'm just not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna move on. We're moving on. What was I saying? The Nightfall, right? Yeah. I don't know. Just the way that she like says like ski at the end of like every sentence whenever she's talking about Twilight is just really, really comedic. I don't know. Like the timing of the voice acting, like combined with this really ridiculous scenario, made it a lot more endearing than I had imagined from just reading the manga. So I think I'm a fan of her character now. And I mean, it's just like I feel like what happened was the author just really wanted to write a manga about tennis. Watching My Hero Academia and Spy Family, nice. Those are some good picks. And yeah, I think the Fiona, yeah. I think, what was I trying to say? Fiona moans too much. Yeah, I think I'm just so desensitized to weird characters moaning in anime. Like I watched Hunter x Hunter. Let's just say that. I watched Hunter x Hunter. Yeah, like the mangaka just wanted to like write a tournament arc about tennis and just like write really bizarre mechanics into it that you can't do in like a legit tennis anime. I say that as if there are rules to how to write an anime. There's not, but there are tropes, and the majority of like sports animes, at least the ones that I've watched, tend to be grounded in reality, at least to some degree. They all have plausible explanations. But yeah, the illegal underground tennis tournament is really funny. Just conceptually, where it's just like anything goes, like doping and poisoning and snipers and like machine boosted rackets. It's just a really funny, yeah. The phony pair, yes, indeed. It's the cheeky naming sense of Spy Family, right? Lloyd Forger, the phony couple. Always gets a good little chuckle out of me. I can't even remember what happens in the manga after that, but I guess I just have to watch the new episode for that, right? Serious question, am I Team Yord or Team Fiona? See, the thing of that is, so far, at least in my eyes, in the eyes of a veteran shipper, there's nothing going on between Yord and Lloyd. There's just really nothing there. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if there was. I love romance subplots, and if they like chose to develop it some more, I would be absolutely thrilled. But so far they haven't really done anything with it. Because you could argue that right at the end of that episode with Fiona, where she challenges Yord to a like impromptu tennis match or whatever, and Yord is getting really into it. She seems like she's acting jealous, right? Because she's like, oh no, this woman's trying to steal my husband away from me, right? But if you listen to her thoughts, she's just worried that she's gonna lose her place, right, in the family. Because if she loses this relationship, right, she's gonna go back to being single and being doubted as like a spy, and that her brother is gonna be worried for her again, and like that's where her concerns lie. And I think she also has a lot of affection for Anya, so she wants to continue being the like the mother figure. That was last episode. Yeah. I already said I didn't catch up to the latest episode. I'm just talking about the episode that I watched last. Yeah. I have not watched it. But I don't think that Yor really has any romantic feelings for Lloyd yet. I think that not necessarily in a romantic sense, but just as like a platonic partnership, that they work really well together. You know, they balance each other out as like being the parents of Anya. And they're both dweebs. They're both total dinguses. And I think they suit each other pretty well. And like, they're both too emotionally stunted to really have any concept of romance yet. Do you think they like each other? They just don't want to admit it, especially Twilight? That's also one possible interpretation, yeah? But I don't want them to force like a romance like right at the end. I hope there's at least some build up instead of just like, ah yes, this man and woman have been living together for a while, so that means that they are now madly in love. Like, there's been not that many hints in my opinion. Like, I want there to be a little bit more substance. I'm a connoisseur of the fine shippings. So it's not like I'm rooting for Fiona, but I hope that her feelings get addressed at some point. I hope that she gets to confess or like finds somebody else or like properly moves on in some way, you know, because I think that with the layout of the story being how it is, she's not meant to win. You know, she's there as sort of a rival character and, of course, comic relief, because every character in Spy Family doubles as comic relief. But yeah, I think her position in the story is not that she's gonna end up with Lloyd. Like, I don't think that's gonna happen. But I do hope that she sparks, you know, some romantic beats in the story. The first anime I watched was Pokemon. Nice. I think that's probably true for me as well. Yeah. The second one that you watched was Beyblade Burst. I don't think I've ever watched any of the Beyblade animes. I was a big fan of Bakugan for a little while. And I was really into Ben 10. And I was also into Winx. That was my era. Hi? Question mark? Are you not sure? You're like I've been here, but I don't know whether I just got here or whether I'm leaving. So it's either hi or bye. Ash leaving the anime. Yeah, I've heard about that. On one hand, it's like, you know, oh no, the end of an era. But on the other hand, it's like, sometimes they need to do something new, right? Like, I'm sure he'll make cameos, right? If, like, I assume they're gonna continue Pokemon, but with a different protagonist, or maybe, like, cycling through different protagonists. I think that's for the best. Gotta let go sometime. Well, Ben 10's not an anime necessarily. That's debatable. No, it's cartoon, but it could be. It could be anime. It's like anime adjacent. It's a kind of anime style, especially the later seasons. I forgot we were talking about anime because we were talking about Pokemon, and Pokemon registers in my brain as a cartoon, you know, because it was like the Saturday morning cartoons that I would watch like one after another. So it would be like Ben 10, Pokemon, and whatever else was on. Ash finally growing up from a 10-year-old after 20 years. I know, right? That's crazy. Good for him. 25 years, damn. Oh, you've been shadow banned? Oh, gosh. What is up with YouTube? I'll give YouTube a real talking to. Talk to the higher-ups in heaven. Get them to fix YouTube. Don't quote me on that. I make no promises. Pokemon cartoon. They're the same thing. I mean, technically, like, when I was a kid, I didn't know the difference, right? I didn't know that it was Japanese made, you know? Like, it was dubbed in English and it came on the English TV stations, so I just watched it like any other cartoon. Give YouTube a big spank. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll be sure to do that. What do you think, Komaro? Do you want to spank YouTube? Komaro says yes. Do I live in the USA? Well, I live in anime world, but it's probably pretty obvious to anybody who looks at my channel and my Twitter and all that. Yeah, USA, the good old America. Don't JP call cartoons anime? Yeah, I mean, in Japan, anime just means animation. It just means an animated show. So like, any cartoon, even if it's a kid's cartoon, it's still called anime. Like Pokemon, or Doraemon, or like whatever cartoons little kids watch these days. It's under the same label as stuff like Chainsaw Man, as what are some of the more mature ones? I don't know, Berserk. Like, that's all anime. SG. I don't know. What was I saying? Oh, Singapore. Interesting. But yeah, I always say that anime is a medium rather than a genre, because at this point, right, like, anime is just an art. It's just an art style. It's just a platform through which people express their own stories, right? Like, there are kids anime, there are adult anime, there are action anime, there are romance anime, there are sports anime, there are, you know, all kinds of different anime. Like, it's just a medium. Can cartoons be anime? Sure. I mean, technically anime is a Japanese word, I guess. I mean, it's a Japanese word that was like borrowed from English and then turned to Japanese and then turned back to English. So, like, I mean, if you're talking to a Japanese person and you want to make conversation about cartoons from America, right? You'll probably just say Americano anime. Like, hey, I watched this American anime. You know, it's just cartoons. Although, I mean, I think most people, a lot of Japanese people probably know what cartoons are. Like, they're familiar with the word. So if you just say like cartoon, it'll probably still process. Like, it'll still come through. There's really no difference. But when you're talking in the English-speaking community, among other members of the English-speaking community, and you say anime, you most likely are talking about anime that came from Japan. Yeah. Just take my word for it. I'm definitely the expert on this subject. Rude to say American anime, just say cartoon. I mean, it makes no difference to me. You're talking to a Japanese, I mean, I don't know. I don't think that it is, but I mean, I'm not Japanese, who am I to say? Yeah, it's animated media. For sure. You've seen people argue over it? Well, tomato. You know, language is funky. Language changes all the time. So, you know, phrases that were used 10 years ago, 15 years ago, change meaning. Words get loaned to Japanese and then come back from Japanese, and like, I don't know, it's all a big mishmash. Let's see, was there any other stuff from recent anime that I wanted to talk about? I mean, I can just talk about Cool Doji Danshi Simoe, which is probably the least popular anime of this. Well, it's like the sleeper anime of the season, right? It's more of a niche. It's more of a niche anime this season. It's just, it just perfectly taps into my, like, slice of life, cute boys doing cute boy things, preference. So it's just good. Trying to remember what was the latest stuff about. Oh yeah, making bentos. Yeah. Can I watch stuff in Japanese without subtitles? Yeah, for the most part. I mean, my Japanese level is that I can understand most spoken Japanese, although once in a while there's just like a word or a phrase that I haven't heard of. Usually I can gather through context, like what's going on, but like I can probably watch most anime. Depends on the level of the anime too. Like if I'm watching an anime that has to do with like, I don't know, like physics or something, like if they're talking about like a bunch of technical terms, my brain is probably gonna be like blah, 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 blah. But that happens if I watch American shows where they talk about physics too much. My brain goes blah 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 blah. But like, I mean, I watch mostly Japanese content on a daily basis because I watch Japanese streamers. I watch Japanese VTubers for the most part. I really haven't watched that many English VTubers, to be honest. It's mostly like I come home every day and watch the latest like streams in Japanese, and that's my main media consumption for the past like year. And I can understand like at least 95% of what they say, I think. I'm gonna assume that's Chinese or some variant of Chinese. I can't read it. The only languages that I know somewhat well are English, Japanese, French, and a little bit of Indonesian, because I've been studying via Duolingo. Yes. Do-do-do. Lol indeed. Lols all around. Let's see, is there anything else that I wanted to talk about today? Bonjour, yes. Oui, croissant. S'il vous plaît. How did I learn Japanese? Just watching a lot of anime. Guys, I just watched way too much anime. Like, people say that as a joke, but like, when you consume enough content in a language, eventually you'll know it. I don't know what else to say. From the time I was about like 9 years old, and I first learned that anime, like Japanese anime specifically, was a thing that existed. It's pretty much the only media that I consumed for like a few years straight, every day, for at least like 5 hours a day. Oh wow, omelette du fromage. Yes. Have I seen the future anime list? Oh, because I'm from the future. That's spoilers. I can't tell you that because of timey-wimey things. Comprenez-vous le français? Oui, je comprends un peu de français. in a way for what? Yeah, learning Japanese through anime. But like, it's true, especially if you're watching it in Japanese with English subtitles. Like, okay, so there's a cat on screen, right? A cat on screen in the anime. And then one of the characters goes, "Neko! Neko da! Neko!" And then on the subtitles it says, "Cat! A cat! There's a cat!" What do you think the word for cat is? That's right, neko. It's just like, you know, you start to piece it together more and more. I did a little bit of studying. I learned how to write hiragana. I just like printed out a sheet that had all the hiragana on it, and I copied it by hand over and over and over and over again. I remember specifically sitting in my like 7th grade science class, and instead of paying attention to the class, I was just copying hiragana over and over and over again. And katakana. I did the same for katakana. But I also used like an app that had like a writing feature on it. So I think I learned hiragana and katakana when I was around 12. Teasers from upcoming animes. Like for the next season, for what would it be, winter season or spring season? I forget what the name of the season is. I have no idea. I have not been keeping up that closely with the anime community. Like, this is the most that I've been watching seasonal anime in like at least 3 or 4 years. Cause like once I fell in the VTuber rabbit hole, like I didn't watch anime anymore. But there just happened to be a lot of anime this season that caught my attention. You know, English, Spanish, a bit of Japanese, a few words of Korean, Chinese, and Portuguese. Nice. It's always fun to be multilingual. I just think it's fun. I just think languages are fun. I don't look at the subtitles most of the time, just listen to the Japanese. I mean, if you're on that level, then, you know, more power to you. Or if you can just deduce what's going on through the Japanese and context alone, you know, maybe that's one way to go about it. Full immersion. Have I learned any instruments? I know how to play the flute, and that's it. I can play scales on a piano. I can't play any chords though. My brain does not like chords very well. Your animated watching time has been replaced by VTuber watching. It do be like that. What do you mean you don't get the appeal of VTubers? I'm right in front of you. That's okay. I don't take any offense to that. I was literally the same when I first heard about VTubers. Because like a friend recommended them to me back in like early 2021. And at the time I was just sort of like, yeah, whatever, okay, I'll look at it, I guess, maybe eventually. And just like every once in a while I would see like a clip that a friend would show me or something. I had no idea about like VTuber companies or agencies, because at that point there were still just a lot of like indie VTubers, I guess, or like one talent that was being supported by a company or something, you know, like kind of like Kizuna Ai, right? So I was actually, okay, so I got into Kizuna Ai back when she was really, really popular. And then I kind of fell off the boat for a while, and then I forgot about VTubers. So I was not around in the fandom for like the start and like the first boom of like Hololive, Nijisanji, and all that. And then, like I said, early last year, a friend recommended me some VTubers, and I was just like, yeah, whatever, I don't get it. I think that... Hold on, let me get caught up on chat real quick. I was just sort of rambling on. Talk about instruments. Nice, nice, nice. Oh yeah, Kaguya-sama's fun. I think it's fun. It's really silly and cute. I am a VTuber, yes. Good job. VTuber, the superior streaming experience. Yeah, so I was the same way, because I was like, you know, I would rather just watch regular people. Like, I would rather just watch regular flesh people. I think that from the watcher's standpoint, I think I don't know if it has necessarily to do with being an anime character specifically, but I like the Japanese idol culture. I mean, obviously there's bad aspects of it too, but I've always really admired that sort of like group, like joining like an idol group and like working together for towards a cause, you know, like working together to like achieve fame or whatever, right? I've always looked up to that kind of thing, and for whatever reason, it's only become popular now in the West because of VTubers, or it's only become like common for people to want to be in like a unit, you know, in like a like an idol group. So for me, it's definitely like the group bond. Bond, get it? Waggle waggle eyebrows. But like for real, it's oh, what am I trying to say? Yeah, I didn't realize Kizunaya was a VTuber. Yeah, because she called herself virtual YouTuber, and it took me a while to connect the dots that that's the same thing as a VTuber. Because right, with a lot of the more traditional VTubers, or not VTubers, the like YouTubers and streamers that I've watched, it's a lot of very like individualistic channels or like one group channel, you know. It's like you're either like one individual channel, like one person is running the channel and makes the content under their own name, and maybe sometimes they do collabs with other channels, but it really wasn't that common. And then you've got like group channels, you know, like a duo like the Game Grumps, or you've got like, I don't know, like Try Guys or whatever. I think I've seen them a few times. You know, it's like they have like a group channel where they do stuff as a group. And sometimes they start their own little like side channel just for themselves, for their own content. But for the most part, those were like the only models of how YouTube was done for a while. And then VTubing started being popular, and especially the big agencies. And so now it's like you're part of a group, but you're also an individual, and you do a lot of your own personal streams, and then it's very normal and common to collab with members of your own group, and also to collab with members outside of your own group. And it just like starts to build this big community, and I think that's a lot of fun. And like even for VTubers outside of the big companies, right? Like they are affected by that model of doing things, so that it becomes very common for people to reach out to others for a collab. Even people who are usually too introverted to to try to reach out to people normally. And that's another place where the VTuber avatar starts to come into play, because for one, there's the anonymity, there's the you know, the personal privacy of not having to worry about your location and your face being revealed to everybody unless you know, get doxxed or something. You know, you can kind of relax a little bit more, knowing that there's less of a chance of people being super creepy and like finding you in real life. And there's also the element of choice, where you get to choose what you look like. You know, you can choose to be an angel, you can choose to be a tentacle monster, you know, you can choose to be like a gorilla person, right? It's like anime wasn't real, then they said, then I found VTubers. Bum bum. That's the deal. Who needs instruments when you have a beautiful voice? Thank you. They're fun. I enjoy both singing and playing instruments. Yeah. I like small VTubers with purple hair. I wonder who that is. That sure beats me. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to capture the capture what it is about VTubers that makes people intrigued, that draws people in, but somehow it got me. Somehow it got me. Tem, what do you think of ship arts? I love it. Well, okay, so the only thing is, as far as shipping goes, I want to say to keep it out of public spaces. I think that, you know, each member of, let's say, for example, bondEN, right? bondEN. We each have our own fan art tag, right? Or I guess maybe you can make like a group tag, just like hashtag LUNACATTUS if you draw everybody in the group or something like that, right? But we each have our own tag. And I think that it's okay to put like some cute little things in, like with a little bit of like shippy hints in the tag. You know, like hand holding or a kiss on the cheek. But anything spicier than that, and I would consider either just not tagging it or like hiding it behind like a consent wall. Because it definitely is the kind of thing that will become awkward for the streamers themselves to see, you know? So, you know, there are a lot of like alternative websites or like links that you can add into like Twitter posts where like it'll like give people like a warning of what content they're about to see before they go into it. I just started VTubering 2 weeks ago. Yes and no. I started on this channel 2 weeks ago, yes. With bondEN. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-doo-doo-doo. What was I saying? Yeah, ship arts. Yeah. This is actually something that I've been thinking of talking about for a while, because I think it's important to talk about this kind of stuff early on. But I think that if you're writing like fan fiction, just go nuts, man. With fan fiction, just go nuts. Just make sure you put all the right tags on it. You know, AO3 Archive of Our Own is a great place to put your fan fiction. Just put all of your tags on there, and you are good. You're good to go. Got me 10 days ago. Nice. Happy 10-day anniversary. That's so stupid. 2 weeks ago. Yes. 2 weeks ago was my debut. Yeah, and if you guys haven't checked out my genmates, go check them out. They're really awesome. Took me 2 years to reach 500 subscribers. Yeah, the thing is, you know, this isn't something that I achieved by just my own power, you know? Because I joined a company, I joined a group, partially so that I would, you know, have some more exposure, have some more help on, you know, gaining a following. But, you know, there are facets to my journey that some of you might know about, some of you might not know about, that, you know, that it might seem like it started 2 weeks ago, but there's more behind the scenes. And a company name does go a long way. You know, I had to go through an audition and, you know, a lot of planning and stuff. And a lot of stuff before that as well. So, you know, everyone's situation is different. And this just happens to be the path that I'm on right now. And I'm glad that it's going pretty smoothly right now. Yes. You already subbed to everyone. Nice. For real though, I could go on and on about my gen mates. They're all great. I feel like I talk about them too much because I just love them so much. It's a weird feeling for me. I'm not usually one to like form these close of bonds with people. But it's true. I think they're all really cool. It took you so long to realize the thing on my head is not a hat. Yeah, this is Kumaro. This is my little mascot guy. He's a bear? ? I don't actually know what he is. I have not been informed He just sort of showed up at my doorstep and was like, let me in. And I was like, I guess this is part of my heavenly mission. And so now he lives with me and eats all my food and sleeps all day. But he's cute, so he gets away with it. VTubing has introduced many people who are incredibly talented into the world of streaming. Yeah, it's definitely like, I don't know what it is, because, you know, like, technically it would be just cheaper to, like, use a regular webcam and not spend a bunch of money and effort making an anime avatar. But, you know, the introverts of the world. Yeah, the introverts rise up because their face is no longer visible. You've seen many creative and innovative things from VTubers that regular flesh streamers fail to do. There's definitely, there's pros and cons to both. There are things that you can do in the virtual world that you can't do in reality. There are things you can do in reality that you mostly can't do in the virtual world, unless you have a lot of money. Or a lot of talent to create those kind of things. Mostly like full body tracking kind of stuff, you know? Because, like, I can't wave at you guys right now. I can't wave my hand at you guys and go, hi. I can't do that because my hand is glued to my hip. Whereas a flesh tuber, which is what they're definitely called, as a flesh tuber, you can easily do that with a webcam, you know? I'm gonna ignore the comment about boy VTubers being sus. That's stupid. VTuber lore is funny. Yeah, some VTubers have very interesting lore. Kumaro is wanted in 63 states. What did he do? What did you do? What did you do? What did you do? I'm not surprised though. Look at this face. That's the face of chaos. Don't look at my face when I did that. You were supposed to be looking at Kumaro's face. I just looked like an idiot. Like a cat taking over the home and becoming the owner. Yep. I know that all too well. Take away the face and see what the talents are there without looks. Yeah, it's like a good way to there are only 50 states, at least in the United States of America. Maybe there are other states in other places. I don't know. I'm not that good at geography. But yeah, you know, like being able to get to know the person behind the streamer without being like swayed by physical appearance. That's one of the perks of VTubing, in my opinion. Yeah. The state of Tem. Yes, you are all now citizens of Temville. That's a really stupid name. What was it that I named my Minecraft town? Temtopia. There you go. I hereby declare you all citizens of Temtopia. You will not receive any identification. You will not receive any government support. You will not receive any benefits, but you do have to pay taxes. Sound like a deal? Temtopia, Temland. Tem Supreme Overlord, as it should be. As it should be. What am I even talking about at this point? We're not even talking about anime. Oh my god. Originally, I wasn't planning to go more than like an hour, but it's like been like an hour and a half. I think I've started to run out of topics, so I think we're gonna... Oh no. Don't unsubscribe. I have big puppy dog eyes. I can ask you not to unsubscribe with my big puppy dog eyes. Please. Please. become a citizen of Dentopia? Please. Please. Pay your taxes, or else. Aren't they? They're really nice eyes, right? I'm so cute. You were kidding? Yay! Okay, I think we're gonna go and end it there. I think I've lost my ability to words. That's what happens when you've been up since 8 a.m. Thank you guys for coming. And Otsutem. And I hope y'all have a good night or morning or day wherever you are. I haven't used that outro in a while, actually. Whoops. Yeah, thank you guys all for your support, and I'll be back tomorrow for playing some Apex, and then on Thursday we have our big Minecraft Christmas collab. Yay! Otsutem. Nom 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 nom.